But all I said was, without the red trunks, he looks like Ultraman. Snyder fans, man. I'm just kidding. Well, not about the red trunks, but, about everything else. Hi, welcome back once again. It is time for the golden age of DC Comics, 365 days, where I take this beloved hardcover coffee table book given to me about 2 decades ago by one of my best friends. It's been surfing my coffee table ever since. It's been a source of constant conversations about comic books, the kind we used to have in the comic book shop on any given Wednesday. I seek to recreate that here, right now, today with you. And we're going to be talking about comic books every day for the rest of the year as well. You can tune in tomorrow, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern. We'll find out who we're talking about when we turn the page. But I use this book for its intended purpose. It's a 365 days book. You can turn the page to today's date. We're going to look at some comic book art from an antediluvian age. We're going to read the blurb, and then we're going to talk about comic books. What goes better with a coffee table book and some coffee table talk? Well, pull up a chair and grab a cup of your favorite. It's time for a little bit of coffee. This is Honduran Pacavita Organic. Wonderful, wonderful. Look at the steam coming off of that beautiful, freshly brewed cup of Jamocha, cup of Joe, cup of Jawa juice. Awesome. I like to start the show off with something quick called the Escapism caveat. Activism is very important. Activists are important people. The world's in trouble, and the world needs help, and the people in this world need help, and not just the people, but every living thing. What's just as important as activism is something called escapism. The entire reason we read comic books, turn to fictions, play games, and get lost in something that is not our real world. And for the past several years, activists have acted like real bullies, invading these spaces of our fandoms. And it could be even church, it could be gaming, it could be knitting, the Audubon Society, it can be comic books, it can be TV shows. It's everywhere. And, activism has its space, activism has its place. And escapism is just as important. We need to leave behind this world's problems just for a few moments in a day. And who would want to take that away from you? Who would want to continually rub your nose into something? Yeah. I'm looking at it now like it's a form of intellectual and cultural colonialism. Activists are like the conquistadors, bringing Christianity and their need for gold and empire and expansion. And they're looking at us like a resource. So, you can look at a fandom as like a pre-existing, pre-populated place. It could be anywhere in the world. Anyone, anytime. Use your imagination. Escape for a second. And so in come these, neo-conquistadors. And they demand that changes be made. And the pre-existing population, if they're not with it, well, they're some kind of savage. There's something wrong with them. They need to be educated. And you're just taking advantage. The conquistadors are just taking advantage of our resources. We had a group identity, a group history, group behavior. We had mores and events that we respected, and in come these needy people and just taking advantage of us, trying to use our space as their platform to disseminate their message. I've had enough. I've got compassion fatigue. I'd rather just ignore them now. Yeah, just exactly. And just more tissues for the pile. That's just as bad. That's bad. You know what I mean? I don't want to feel this. I want to feel concern for these precious and important ideas. I really do. But I'm only human. But let's get back to the matter at hand. The 365 days of DC Comics. Let's open the book. Well, I've never heard of this individual. Let's get to it. It is August the 5th. I hope you're having an awesome day. Hope everything's going your way. Hope you're clobbering your problems and not being clobbered by them. This is Story and Art by Will Eli from Adventure Comics, number 36, March of 1939. And it's about Dale Daring. Dun, 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 dun. Dale and Don are being held captive on a small island off the mainland by a gang of ivory smugglers. The thugs' boat was wrecked in the storm the night before, and they've repaired and oh, gee, do I need my glasses? He should be getting back by now. Yes, and he had time to contact the land gang and get a boat here. And there's Dale and Don in the background. It's black and white. Look at that. Way before manga. Black and white comics were everywhere, too, in the daily newspapers. You know, people like black and white comics. I wonder what's become of the daily news strip. Indeed. I haven't read or bought a newspaper literally in years. With, you know, modern culture being what it is. Let's read the blurb. And then let's talk. Shut up, Eric, and start talking. Start reading, dude. That's why people tune in. The characters that DC introduced before the advent of superheroes tended to be a nondescript lot. Just about the only thing remarkable about Dale Daring was that she was a female in a predominantly male medium. Yeah, she was like before Wonder Woman. You know, maybe Wonder Woman replaced Dale Daring in 1939. Come to think about it. Yet she distinctly lacked the common touch. Kidnapped by smugglers, Dale had this to say to her companion Don. We must watch our chances, and soon. Where do you suppose they intend to do away with us? Some pages in the earliest comic books were printed in black and white rather than in full color. This penny-pinching practice was eventually abandoned, and the black, white, and red art here was seen a compromise along the way. Yeah, and that's Dale Daring, and who was a female superhero, a female hero in a comic book. There were girls in comic books before 2015? No, that didn't exist. That's lies. You're gaslighting me. Everything in the 20th century was problematic and an ist and a phobe and adjacent. Fucking A, man. Here's to Twitter. Here's to social media. Here's to comic book people on the other side of some mythic isle who will block you just because it pleases them. For no other reason. It's just because it pleases people. Yeah, I block people. It feels good. It does. Yeah. You got to annoy me. But, you know, I do block people on Twitter, you know, a lot. You know, it's kind of fun, to be honest. It's powerful. Like, fuck you. There you go. Nothing you got to say matters. And that's the best way to actualize that in your life. The block button on Twitter. And but remember, there were no strong female characters before 2012 or 2015 or so. That's a joke and extreme hyperbole. That's a culture. That's a social commentary. It is. Let's read a second about Dale Daring. I got from the wiki. And actually, no, it's from the DC database, which is dc.fandom.com. And it has its own wiki, basically for every DC character ever. And notes. I'll read you the notes. It's a very small page for Dale Daring. Sorry, Dale. Dale's first appearance was in New Comics number 4, April of 1936. Her last appearance, Adventure Comics number 37 of April of 1939. This version of Dale Daring, including all history and corresponding appearances, was erased from existence following the collapse of the original multiverse in 1985-86's Crisis on Infinite Earths limited series. Even though versions of the character may have appeared, this information does not apply to those versions. Dale Daring was drawn and inked by Dick Ryan from New Comics number 4 to 8, then by Alex Lovey from New Comics 11 to New Adventure Comics 13, and then by Will Eli from New Adventure Comics 16 to Adventure Comics 37. You can probably track the name changes of this one magazine, and what's kept consistent was the numbering. Yes, New Comics to New Adventure Comics to just Adventure Comics. And Adventure Comics, yeah, that was the home. I think that was the home of Superboy. Yeah, Adventure Comics. You see, Adventure Comics ran from 1938 until 2011. And oh wow, this is a deep page. Yeah. From 1938 to 1946, Adventure Comics started a number of Golden Age superheroes, including Sandman, Hourman, Starman, and Manhunter, with a variety of backup features including Shining Knight, Genius Jones, Barry O'Neill, Cotton Carver, and Steve Conrad, Adventurer. In 1946, all previous features were canceled, and Superboy, Aquaman, and Green Arrow were transferred into Adventure Comics from More Fun Comics, and they remained the series' main features well into the 1960s. Yeah, so Adventure Comics, Dale Daring basically started up Adventure Comics, the home of Superboy, the eventual home of Superboy, Aquaman, and Green Arrow, who through the late Golden Age and early Silver Age, that's where, you know, these heroes, there were certain heroes made it into the Silver Age intact. And that was Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Green Arrow, Martian Manhunter, Aquaman, and Flash and Green Lantern were changed drastically for their new iterations of Barry Allen and Hal Jordan, and their costumes and their raison d'etre, one could say. But yeah, we've been talking about Dale Daring from 1936 until 1939, the star of Adventure Comics. Strong, beautiful, stunning, brave women have always been a part of comic books. And don't let anyone try to gaslight you into thinking that. I mean, they say, the proof is not in the pudding. The proof of the pudding is on the plate. And we're talking about comic books. We've been talking about DC comic books, the golden age of DC comic books, and we're going to be talking about comic books every day for the rest of the year. So tune in tomorrow, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern, and we'll figure out who we're talking about when we turn the page tomorrow. Please like and subscribe. I would love to earn your subscription. We make daily content here. We talk about the weather. We talk about grass growing. No, but we talk about spirituality and gratitude. If there's a clear sky in the pre-dawn, I can point out planets, and we do that. There are bunnies eating their breakfast. I make little cute shorts of nature. I love sharing that kind of stuff. And we talk about comic books. And I talk about cooking, too. I'm a professional chef. So thank you, namaste, good luck, God bless, and we will see you tomorrow in the funny pages. Thank you. Bye-bye.